Hey guys, No Name Trapper with you here today. I've been a little under the weather because of COVID, but we're going to go ahead and do Snaring Fundamentals Part 4. And this is going to be about the tools and equipment I use when snaring. So let's get started. Alright, first things first. So this is the Redman's snare tool. It's got a notch in it, like I've shown you guys before. It just goes in there, and then you pound your wire into the ground, and there's your support. Right? All you got to do is have a loop like that, and it fits into that notch. I'd like to thank my friend Steven for buying that product and showing me that. Before that, I used to use pigtails all the time. Also, that's 11 gauge wire, which I messed with last year. I won't do that again. I prefer 9 gauge due to the heavy winds here in the Midwest and the snowfall. It just holds the snare in place better. So, fall time or pre-frozen ground, I will run that system. Strictly that system. Now, when frozen ground and snow is coming, we'll go ahead and convert. And by converting, I mean we'll go ahead and get as many of these into play before the ground freezes and the snow hits. So we'll have a bunch of these in place already on the trails, as well as my wolf fang earth anchors already driven in on almost all the trails I'm going to set. Now, with that being said, if I decide to add snares, we're changing how we do it. So if I'm adding snares, we're going to switch to the Freedom brand snare supports. I buy the heavy duty ones with 9 gauge wire. Now, why do I buy those? Well, first off, I don't want to spend too much time on the trail. I want to get the snare set and get out of there. These, I can take them down. I don't have to get down low to the ground to pound those in, and I don't have to fight the frozen ground as much because it's got this sharp point on the end. So what I do is I get that in place. I hold it sturdy up here near the top, and I give it a few love taps with the back end of that axe right there on the top. And that knocks it into the ground firm enough that it'll hold great. And boom, we're ready to go for that set. Now, if I have to drive another wolf fang earth anchor, I'm using an axe. It's lighter weight. As you guys can tell, this one's been used for 2 or 3 years, and I use the back end of that just as much as the front. Plus, if I need to chop some sticks or whatever, I've got that option. So, lightweight, easy, and we'll move on to our next tools. Now, if there's no entanglement around and I want to turn this set lethal, easy. I grab another rebar stake, a longer one. I pound it in a little ways, and now that's where it's going to wrap. And that'll be my kill pole, essentially. I like to keep mine set up to where I can either go lethal or non-lethal. I don't like just having the one option of lethal. These are the next tools that I have to have on my trap line when I'm snaring. Every day after work, first thing I do is I put my 22 pistol on my side and these 2 tools, right? Because you can do anything with these. If you don't have a pair of cable cutters, I highly recommend it. So I can snap these on my belt, and a heavy duty pair of pliers for bending wire or doing whatever I want, with the support wire. These tools are what I consider essential for a snare trap line. And as you guys know, I keep a bag with my snares. They're in bundles of 4 in there. Now, I'll get these doled down before season, but I'll have about 60 of them in there in bags of 3 or 4, usually 4. And then I can just pull out each bag as I need them to keep from making a mess. So that's kind of my system there, guys. There's some of the tools, and we got one more that's probably the most important. I consider this a necessity when running a snare line. It's a catch pole. And as you can see, I've got a little kink in this one. Actually, my neighbor designed this one and gave me this to use, and it's held a lot of coyotes. You can do about anything with the catch pole, guys. You catch a dog, and he's panicking, use your catch pole. You can get him out easy. Animal doesn't, the dog doesn't suffer. It's a safe release, right? If you want to dispatch your bobcat or release your bobcat, catch pole. you want to pull that coyote off and, do something else with it, catch pole. If you're going to run a snare line, these are the tools that I consider essential to have. And I keep a snare or a catch pole in each of my trucks when snaring. The reason I do that is because I've been caught with my pants down with just one catch pole in one of the trucks. So that's the last tool. And this concludes our video of my lightweight setup and how I run my snare line. So guys, that's my setup. That's the way I like to run snares. If you do it differently, great. There's nothing wrong with any trapper's preferred method. So I just want to make sure I explained mine well and showed you guys some of the tools I use when it comes to snare season. I do want to say thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. That gives us good information to go on. And also, season's approaching really fast. So I'll get out a couple more informational videos, here before season. And then it's going to be hard hitting. So tight chains, stay tuned. We'll see you on down the line.